Well, hey guys, good morning. Big A coming to you live from the station camp Greenway. Another great day in paradise. 21 degrees out here this morning. Paul Kirsch, you're always teasing me about the temperature, buddy. 21 degrees, I'll tell you this morning. Hey, I hope I've got some money when Robin gets back from Texas. She's gone out there to Joanna Gaines for that Magnolia place. She called me last night. It was like a kid in a candy shop. She was having a blast with all of her girlfriends. Some of you guys know about I let our plant sit outside too long and the frost got it. I'm just praying she doesn't kill me when she gets home. I've been asking all these people that know about plants what to do, and they've been giving me great advice. So I've not been sleeping well. I'm trying to nurture this 29-year plant that we've had back to health. All you guys that know a lot about plants, let me know what I can do to restore it. This frost got it. I want to talk to you about a recurring theme that happens week after week, month after month, year after year that I deal with in coaching. And it's about our children. And guys tell me all the time, I'm at this ballpark, I'm at that ballpark, I've got to go to this event, this rehearsal, that. It's become where the children are kind of themes of worship, if you will. It's like we can't say no. And I don't understand why we can't say no to our kids. They say we don't have any family time anymore. We don't do anything together because the kids are all out, at these various events. And guys, I want to tell you something. You're in charge. You're the one making the decision whether they do or don't. A lot of times I hear that the parents are not on the same page in dealing with the kids. You got to get on the same page. You got to get together with your mate and you've got to say, how are we going to parent these children? Because one is allowing them to do this or that and the other one doesn't want them to. And we've got to protect the family unit. And I want to encourage you to do that. There was a guy that went to our church years ago for 10 or 15 years. His name is Dan Hiley. Dan Hiley's got some of the greatest kids on the planet. And some of you guys live locally, you know the Hileys, Dan and Lisa, and they've done just an outstanding job with their children. And years ago, when Brooke and Holly were little, they invited the Hiley children over for a swim party, along with about 75 other teenagers. And when they started to leave, I didn't know them at the time, and when they started to leave, a guy named Ben Hiley, Dan's son, walked up to me, and I don't know how old he was. He was probably 14, 15 years old. And he introduced himself as Ben Hiley, and he said, Mr. Walker, thank you for having us at your house. He said, is there anything I can do to help you clean up before I leave? And I looked at him like, what planet are you from? And he said, listen, my dad's always told us, to help and to clean up and to respect other people's property. And I could not believe this young man and what he brought to the table. And so I went up to Brooke and Holly after the party and I said, listen, you need to get more kids like the Hileys to come over here instead of these kids that are tearing up the furniture and trashing the yard. And it was always a place that we enjoyed having the kids over. But man, what a delight it was to have kids like that. Well, it didn't come easy. Dan and Lisa trained those children. They taught them to respect other people. They taught them to do the right things. They just didn't on their own do that. Kids don't know to do that. It's incumbent on us as parents to train and to teach our children. I remember years ago when Robin and I had first got married, my younger brother smarted off to my mom and she rocked his world. And she said, you're gonna respect me out of love or fear. You take your pick. And that's kind of what we've gotten away from. We kind of let the kids rule the roost now. We let the kids tell us all the activities they're going to do and what time they're going to be at home. A friend of mine taught me something years ago. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of parents say, I can't go to bed until the kids get home. And he said, put an alarm clock out by your bedroom door and set the alarm and tell the kids they got to be home in time to turn that alarm off. And I thought that was pretty ingenious. A little tip for you if your kids are driving. But I want us to get back to a point to where we have family time and quality time and we're not running all over the world just catering to the kids, just the things that they're doing, because we're teaching the kids that there are no boundaries. And we've got to establish boundaries. You think, well, I don't love the kids if I say no to them. It's just the opposite. The kids want to have boundaries. They want to know. They don't really know that because they're kids, but later years they're going to grow up and they're going to think my parents loved me and cared for me enough to tell me no. And I want to encourage you to do that. It's difficult today, right? There's so many activities, there's so many things to do, but we cannot let the tail wag the dog. We cannot allow our children to tell us what they aren't and are going to do. We're the parent. We've got to take control. We've got to tell them no. We've got to set boundaries, and we've got to get our lives back. And if you'll take that effort and that energy to do that, the dividends are crazy. One of my clients told me recently he implemented some of these strategies that I'm telling you, and I met with him 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, and he said, it has absolutely changed the dynamics of our family, because they were just allowing their children to do whatever they want, not clean their room, get up when they wanted to, and they would take them to do activities without their chores being done. And they even listed out the things that their kids needed to do. And he said, I'll take you to this ball game or that ball game if your chores are done. If they're not done, we're not going. It teaches kids to have some sense of boundaries in their life, that they know that there's consequences if they don't accomplish the things that they need to do. Same way as adults, there's consequences for us. If we don't work, we don't get paid. If they don't do some things, maybe there's some activities that they have to forego. Parents, listen, we've got to get control back over our kids. Stop letting your kids tell you what they're going to do, and you start being the parent that God has called us to be, to raise up people like Ben Hiley is now, a young man that is absolutely rocking his family's world because he's a great guy, because Dan and Lisa trained him upright. We've got to do more of that. Well, listen, it ain't going to get any warmer. I got to get to walking. I'm Big A coming to you live from the Greenway. Hopefully it'll break freezing before I get done. Y'all have a great day. See you later.